Right. Hello. Hang on, I'm in the bloody lobby chat. Have a jump in the party here. Right. Good evening, everybody. I am your host, Tom Stiggy, however you want to call it. Welcome to a 100% race of the British Grand Prix by PGR. Just seeing here, catch myself up with everything. Let's have a look. So we've got Brashman currently on pole here at the moment with a 27.6, so followed by Andy Boy, 27.8, Taylor Danny, 27.9, closely followed by Chaz and David. Arkid and DSL Brad taking up 6th and 7th, Famous Wayne in P8. Have a look further down here. Max Stubbs with a 147.3. I think he's clearly had some sort of problem on his connection. Actually, qualifying is over. Brashman currently on pole. Is anyone else on the lap? Looks like we're on board with Andy Boy here. Looks like you're the best chance, really, of having a go at pole. I have currently got my chicken tikka slice ready to go for the race as well. Chicken and Blunts calls it a day with a 28.8. Andy Boy, he's up in the first sector. This is what we like to see. Purple. This is good pace from him. Taylor started his lap. Taylor's halfway around the middle sector here. Let's go on board. A bit of a break going into Beckett's, and let's have a look at the Chapel section now, down to 5th. Nice use of the bottle pedal here. DRS wide open down the hanger straight now. He's he's actually up himself. He might be on for P2 here, second row, up to 205 miles an hour as he hits the brakes into Stowe. Decent line from him, bit hesitant, but he wants to keep it legal. Could use a bit more space there. Chaz Knight Rider calls it a day in P4. Amongst the final couple of corners to see what he does. Using copious amounts of traction control to keep it on the line there. And it's a 27.805. Very close. Looks like Andy's the best man for the job. Then he's very much up. He could be on for pole here if he keeps it legal. Let's have a look here. As he crosses the line, what's it going to be? It's pole. It's a 1:27.29. Very nice lap there. Takes pole by nearly half a second. That's a very good lap, that is. Taylor Danny at P3. Dave calls it a day. Everybody's called it a day. So there is your grid for this evening. There we go. Let's talk for our sponsors here. I haven't got any sponsors, but I do. I'm currently enjoying a Pucker chicken tikka slice with some ketchup and Bob and brown sauce. Very good. Right. 7 people watching. Hello, everybody. I assume most of you are PGR enjoyers. Let's have a check the chat here. Max Dubs, Evening Stick says Rob Kelly. Hello, guys. There is your grid then. Andy Boy taking pole with a very nice lap of a 1:22.3. Brashman P2, 1:27.6 will keep my eye out for him. He'll be having a decent race behind him. Taylor Danny, 1:27.8. And Chaz P4. Dave and DSL Brad taking up the third row. Call Me Arkid and Famas Wayne with the 1:28.2 and 4 respectively. Jock and Nay Danger David taking up the 5th row. Kozinko and Chicken and Blunts both from the 27.7s and 8s. Actually, 2 people with identical times. Chicken and Blunts and Kevilney. That's a very good consistency between those 2 boys. Special Clyde right behind them as well on pace. Basin, Mitch, Divvy, Craig, Penny, Max Stubbs takes out the final rows of the grid here. And this is going to be a very nice race and an even very nicer Pucker Pie. Robert Kelly's Jock. Thanks, Rob. Appreciate that. Welcome, everybody. 10 viewers. It's the most I've had ever. Feel free to subscribe, guys. I upload some rubbish. 11 people watching now. Everyone wants a bit of taste of the sticky commentary anyway. So, my bets for tonight. I mean, I'm always a Brashman fan. I think his race pace is normally better than his qualifying pace. He does have a win in the Champions Division around Singapore. So I definitely think he's got a good chance here. Mitch Chase has left the session. Not really sure why. No matter. Just a sad note here, actually, for everybody watching. Just had a message from one of my friends. It's possible that Canadian Grand Prix might be cancelled due to wildfires, which is a bit sad. Oh well, more important races. It's the formation lap then. Let's talk you through the grid once more. Andy Boy, 84, taking the pole position slot here for the, after all, it is a 100% Grand Prix. So this is going to be a long old stream, over an hour and a half of my joyous voice, ruining your evenings. Brashman CPFC taking in P2 here. Have a quick look, actually. Have a look. Sprashman P2, Taylor Danny P3, Chaz Knight Rider P4, Dave Pagarilli, I'll say that wrong one time, Dave, call him Dave for the Sights Evening now for Tarry up in P5, DSL Brad with some decent pace in P6, call me R-Kid, Famas Wayne Jock and Danger David take up the final slots of the first half of the grid. Carkinzo, my good buddy Chicken and Blunts back in the World Cup days. Taking up P12, Cavilney and Clyde, P13 and 14, base on. I'm expecting some good work from him tonight as well. Let's see what he does. Mitch Chase here, hoping to give chase on tonight's race. And we've got Diviel Burrow in P17, Craig MC12, 18th, Pennycad, Max Stubbs. I mean, Max, I don't really think that's his kind of qualifying pace, if I'm honest. Just see. I mean, I think he's going to be going for the long haul here tonight. He's got to just keep his nose clean and take up some pace. I know he's got more pace in that Alpine than he reckons he has at the moment. But I've got to keep my eye on my boy at the top, Brashman. I'm going to pile all the pressure I can on this knobhead. After all, a good buddy of mine these days, so no pressure from him at all. He is sporting the Mercedes as well, following on from his Constructors win in Champions League, the Champions tier. Not 4 weeks ago. He lines up P2. Andy with a very nice parking on there into P1. Taylor Danny, everyone's queuing up now onto the grid. Just scroll back to the start. Here's gone. Have a look. Everybody's all queued up nicely. Clyde actually has botched his starting position. Let's go on board from P4 here. Chaz Knight Rider doing a great job actually from P4. I was not expecting that, but still, credit where credit's due. Did a good job. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. Everybody's running traction control, and it is lights out and away we go. Brashman with a decent start. Brashman's looking to take into already. He's going to have a look into turn 1. Let's see what he does. Already he's in loads amount of overtaking. He'll be side by side into turn 1. He lets it go, actually. Car in front on the medium tyres. There's a yellow flag already somewhere on the track as someone hasn't started. It's Mitch's AI. Round the outside goes Dave, trying to hold that P5 off from DSL. Brady does, though, nicely. Chaz Knight Rider keeping his nose clean here. Andy Boy's already scampered off over half a second into the lead. 2 cars side by side. Dave and DSL Brad having a little bit of a cheeky race down the Wellington Straight here. See what he does. Yeah, he protects his P5 there from DSL Brad in the Alfa Romeo. We've currently got, let's have a look at the battles nearby. Oh, he goes around the outside of Luffield there. See what he sees a chance. No, but all the cars just concertinaing through Luffield here at the moment. He's trying to drop his overtake. He wants to get this move done. He sees some chance to see what tyres everybody's on actually. So actually, a person to watch out for the moment is Ben on the hard, so he's going long. Everybody else, got people going short, got the likes of Dave, Call Me Arkid and Jock wanting to get that many places they can at the start of this race at the moment. But Andy Boy has just piece of the scene, 1.3 seconds clearer to hit the second sector line down in the hangar straight. Taylor Danny wants a bit of Brashman's gearbox, goes down the outside, just though will make it work. No, he won't. He'll keep P3 for the time being, but Brashman will be under pressure here from the cars on the faster tyres. Jock and DSL Brad having a bit of a ding-dong going into Stowe as well. Was a mustard torch? No, there wasn't. Let's have a leap on board with Jock here because he's got a nice view of some battling in front. Andy Boy with a fast lap of the race already. 36.3. Let's have a look here what we've got going on. So they are actually braking into turn 1 at the moment, which is interesting. It's normally a flat corner, especially on the soft tyres, even in race pace. Let's see how we do. There's a massive little scrap here, all aboard the Brashman train. Woo woo! As they come onto the Wellington straight. Let's have a look. Oh, Chaz has got a lot of overtake ready. He's raring for an overtake. Brashman has been quite protective actually of his overtake as well. He knows he's going to be vulnerable for the first half of this race. Taylor Danny wants a sniff as well of this second place. Taylor Danny's got to get by to keep himself near Andy Boy. Mitch Chase has joined the race again. Max Stubbs, admittedly, 2.6 seconds off the lead so far. Is he actually a ghost? Oh, we got side by side actually. Oh, he gives way. Carkinzo gives way to Chicken and Blunt, who takes P11, but he has actually ran wide. That means Carkinzo gets a run on him going into Magus, and Becky's made that move stick. Nice bit of playing there from Carkinzo. Carkinzo, though, he's got himself a penalty. The commentator's curse has kicked in perfectly there. Keep on boarding with Chicken and Blunts. Does he sniff an overtake? Doesn't look like it, actually, to be fair. Nobody else currently in the region for an overtake. It looks like the Jock battle here. Oh, Jock with a corner cutting warning there for sure. Brashman's just starting to get a gap on Taylor Danny because he got aggressive from Chaz Nightrider and Dave pushing Taylor to make a mistake. Andy Boy has just dipped right now at 32.5. He's already 2.5 seconds clear after 2 laps. Fantastic. DRS is already enabled now. Only penalty so far is Carkinzo. Surprisingly, 3 warnings and only 2 laps of the race. That's quite impressive. Still no battles on site. Actually, Kev Lindy wants a battle. He's got up the inside here. Oh no, a special Clyde takes around the outside into turn 2, 3, whatever it is. Now into turn 4, going on to Wellington straight. They're still side by side. It looks like Kev Lindy gets the move done today. They're side by side. He keeps that nice move there. Does special Clyde have a whiff? No, he doesn't. He's backed out of that one. Kevilny has just dropped his ERS, trying to get a bit of a gap between the two, get some clean air on the front wing of that AlphaTauri. There's a battle behind actually as Penny and Craig have a bit of a ding dong down the Wellington straight, going to Luffield. Looks like Craig's made that move. Actually, Penny might have had an accident then. No, he doesn't look like he has. He's been caught up though by Diviel Burrow. Let's see what we've got going on here. Max Stubbs has finally caught up to the cars in front as Jock in piece of. Oh, Max ran the inside of Cops. What a move. He's used up so much overtake. Trying to keep up with those cars in front there. Matt Brown, Andy Boy fan club, let's go baby. Yeah, thanks Matt. Appreciate that, my friend. Thanks Matt. Andy Boy fan club. Have a look here, so massive distraction there from my good buddy Matt. Divvy goes down the inside into Stowe. What a move. Makes that very clean. Craig obviously will be shaking in his boots now, wanting to get back into P16. Is he saving fuel? Are they all negative on fuel? It looks like they actually are. It looks like there is actually a fuel problem here for this race. They might struggle to make it, but we'll keep our eyes peeled. Brashman now 3 seconds behind, but that third lap was much better than the first 2. Only lost 7/10 of a second as opposed to the 3 years he lost in the first 2 laps of the race. Danny though wants a whiff. He's using a lot of overtake here actually to try and find a move on Brash. He's got the faster car, so I don't really see why he's not going for it, because the longer he spends behind this Mercedes, the worse his tyres will get. There's a scrap behind between Nadine, David, Chicken and Blunt. They go side by side, but look like Chicken and Blunt manages to go around the outside of Brooklands. There's Danger David using all the road and then some to get out of Luffield there. Up to 190 miles an hour going into Cops Corner. Is it a lift for Nadine David? It's a break. He stopped that car. Evening Stiggy says F1 Power Grid. Hello, I'm borrowing your league for the day. Don't know who that actually is, to be honest, from Power Grid, but I hope you're enjoying the show. My contract's in the post. I've actually got the Alpine with absolutely no overtake left. He's using so much work and he's got none left at all. Nothing in the tank now. He's going to have to start saving some battery here. The Brashman train still. Oh, he's got a chance. He made an error. Has Basin and the Haas are going to be side by side, left in no room. Basin sends one at the inside. He's absolutely just nicked his tarmac there going into the final couple of corners. Pennycad takes a penalty. Chicken and Blunt and Carkinzo both have one as well. But looks like now there's actually yellow flags somewhere on the track. Someone stacked it. It's Jock. Jock has given up. No, he hasn't. He's just had a bit of a skill issue. into turn 1 somewhere. Let's not get a replay of that because I can't find out how to do it. Into turn 4, but he can recover from there. There's still time. We're only 10% of the... Oh, it's Jay. Hello, Jay. It's only 10% of the race through at the moment. Have a look for battles nearby. The cars are beginning to settle down now as the pace and the tyres begin to distribute, but currently I'm impressed. Oh no, someone's just gone very wide. Looks like it's Chicken and Blunts and Carkinzo having the scrap of all scraps here, going side by side down into Cops. We're going to see Verstappen Hamilton here from the two drivers. No, because Carkinzo's got less horsepower than a Cupra Formentor 1.4 FEV. Going now down into Cops here. Looks like Chicken and Blunts wants a sniff at P9 here from Basin and the Hassie's struggling to keep that car on the road at the moment. Chicken and Blunts wants this move. Let's see what it does. Oh, Basin's all over the shop here, using that Hass as a lawnmower. That's probably all it's worth. Going now down into Stoke to 200 miles an hour. Will, is there any space on the outside? He finds some anyway, round the outside of Stowe. Basin, there's a massive scrap. Everything's going on around these four cars right now. We've got the Hass and the Rebel and the Alpine, but Chicken and Blunts makes it into P9. Basin slowly behind, but Chicken and Blunt's got to be careful of the overtake. He's got none left in the tank now. He's got to go to make himself as much space as possible of the cars in front. Nay Danger David has made the move to stick on Carkinzo. That's what happens if you have no overtake left. You slow down. Interesting amount of... Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happened there. I don't know why we've got people dumping overtake this early on in the race, because it's just not going to help them out. It's such a hard track to get a lot of overtake back, really. Danger David leaves him no space, but Carkinzo doesn't give a rat's ass as he goes around the outside of the Red Bull and just sends him a middle finger as he goes around him. Perfect move there from Carkinzo. Some gorgeous battling from these guys. Kept it very clean so far, to be fair, apart from a couple of spinalas. Still, have a look at my boy Brashman, all aboard the Brashman train. He's doing well, but I mean, Andy Boy is just... Give him some credit so far. 6 laps in and he's just holding that 4.5 second gap to the cars behind him. Nice bit of clean air. Brashman, to be fair, what's his sector times like? Brashman's on a push. He wants to can't get in the back now. The tyres may be already falling in Brashman's favour, but Brashman's looking for the long call. To be fair, Taylor Danny, the car behind, needs to start putting some work in onto the back of that Mercedes, because he's already got a penalty, and that could stack up later on in the race, especially, you know, 3 seconds worth of penalty after 6 laps of racing is not good. So let's see what he does. Check some lap times here. 33.5 from Brashman. Check everyone's fastest laps actually here. Where even is that? No idea where that is at all. There it is. Right. Kevin gets 5. So look at the pace here. 32.1 from Andy Boy. He has just taken everything he's got and gone. Brashman and Taylor Danny very close on lap times. To be fair, you've got Chaz not far behind. Chaz will be happy with this so far, to be fair. He's just, he's got a lot of overtake spare, actually. Big credit to Chaz, keeping, you know, enough battery to charge up 15,000 Teslas in the back of that Ferrari at the moment. Which will mean that when these two boys start battling, Chaz can capitalise on that. Let's have a look further down the list here. Biggest losers so far on Jock and Nay Danger David. I know Jock had a skill issue going into turn 1. As he actually makes the rebound outside of Clyde, you've got Nay Danger David, who had a... I don't know if he's just having some struggles getting the car up to grips here. Biggest winner though at the moment has to be Basin, up to P10. 5 positions gained from this guy. Fair play to the Haas, to be fair. It was 6 at one point until my boy Chicken and Blunt gave him the cock and pieced the scene. Nobody stopped yet, obviously, at the moment. It's a 100% race, so cars won't be stopping until at least lap 12, I think. I've got no idea what the pit strategy is for this race. Let's stay on board here with Basin. Staying out. Let's remove the fastest lap and just get that gap back to the interval here. I mean, look at the gaps we've got. We've already got, you know, the likes of Penny and Mitch over nearly a pit stop behind the leader already. I mean, this guy's gone. Andy Boy's got some serious speed, but I mean, you think about it, Penny with another set of warnings, I think, at the moment. But biggest gap on track, apart from the two guys at the back, is the Brashman train. But to be fair, he's starting to stretch the legs on the back of that, on the back of that steam engine. He's got. Oh no, he's not. Have a look here. What's happening in front? There's actually a battle behind, pardon me. It's between Dave and DSL Brad. Dave has, I think, sent one up the inside of... sorry, DSL Brad straight up the inside of Dave there. Dave was not expecting that, but neither of them have got any overtake. But DSL Brad needs to get on the back of Chaz, because Chaz currently sitting pretty. You know, he's got 6/10 of the car in front, you know, 86% battery in the back of that Ferrari, so he's going to be ready when these two start fighting in front of him. Still not seeing any major scraps on track. Actually, Jock might have a sniff down the hangar straight. Depends how much overtake he's got. I reckon Caviglia might keep that, to be fair. And have another bite of my sandwich dinner whilst this goes on. Lovely. Right, enjoyed myself, and that was nice. I've still got plenty left for the Grand Prix. That's definitely a track extension. Somebody pits. Who's having up here? Dave. First to show his hand then. What tyre is he going to go on to this race? Let's have a look-see here. We've got some tasty T-posing going on from everybody else in the game, but he's onto the hard tyres. He's going to be trying to put on... He's must be going for the next sort of 25-30 laps on those tyres at least. Only car in the pits, but he will have a lot of clear air to make up some time to the cars in front. The cars around him are on the mediums and hards, apart from our kid, so he'll be pitting shortly. So that's the battle to watch out for. But I'm expecting after 5 or so laps that undercut will come good. And he's come out just behind Penny, who's going into turn 3 now. I think Dave needs to dispatch this Red Bull as fast as possible, just so he keeps using a lot of overtake. Those tyres are stone cold. He's going to have some problems there getting the tyres up temperature. Now, actually, the battle in front here between the likes of Divi and Craig. Craig's using overtake on the exit of the corner, which isn't the best place to use it. I'll wait till the car's squared up. That's okay. So, just looking down the grid at the moment, we've got the likes of Taylor Danny wants a whiff. Danger David gets a penalty, but I mean, consistency. Oh, Carzino wants a sniff here. They're going to go side by side down into Stowe Village with absolutely barely any space there. Will he go for it? He has a think, but he hasn't got the legs. But Basin protecting that line perfectly there, leaving just enough room for the Alpine. The Alpine's gone for it. He's got a right seeing a bit. He's got up the inside into the final couple of corners. Switch back of the century as he's done it onto the start-finish straight. Hit the bunny hop. They're side by side going down into turn 1. There's contact between the two drivers here. Who's going to lift first? It's going to be Carzino who lifts out. He wants to. After all, this race is only a 20% done. They've got a long way to go still. He needs to protect that front wing. But definitely Carzino now starting to have a sniff at the back of this Haas. As someone's had a mess. Oh, there's been a scrap in front as Taylor Danny and Brashman CPFC. I didn't see it. Begin to start battling. Looks like Taylor Danny's had enough of being stuck with the Brashman train. He's not going to go for it into Cops, is he? Yes, he is. He's going to do it. He's going to have a look. No, he's going to fill up his mirrors going into Cops' corner. He's going to show Brashman that he's not going down without a fight, as Brashman's had to use a lot of overtake here. Andy Boy, very far in front, has got 75% left. I think this is the battle. I can see there was a move change though between Chicken and Blunts and Famas Wayne. Chicken moving up into P7. That's been a great start for Chicken. And Taylor Danny goes down the inside of the Mercedes into Stowe. Brashman didn't see an overtake though on the way back. Brashman just needs to stick with him. Chaz Knight Rider though will have to start making moves now. He's got to start using that overtake and just try and make a move on the back of that Mercedes though. Scrap. Let's have a look here between... Oh, a bit of lag actually between the... Is everybody lagging or is it just me? I don't know who's lagging at the moment. Looks like it's just these two boys in front. Jock and Cavilny have a little scrap, but I actually don't think they made the move there. So, as everybody starts their 11th lap. See what battles are going on in front of me. Looks like Famas Wayne actually wants to look at the back again of Chicken and Blunt. He's not. He wants to keep that position actually. He's going to use the overtake. Yes, he is. He sees a chance here. Chicken and Blunt's already defending a load of fresh air for no reason. But Famas Wayne thinks better of it. To be fair, me and Wayne, of course, friends in the World Cup, Team Jamaica. As Clyde goes down the inside of Cavilny somewhere further back on the circuit. But let's stay on board with this little scrap here. Let's have a look at how much overtake they've got. See, Chicken Blunt's got no overtake left really at the moment. You're going to struggle to defend with that much. Famas Wayne would double the amount that Chicken and Blunts can use. Wayne really needs to make this work into Stowe. Let's see what he does here. He's looking quite committed, using the curbs perfectly there. Chicken and Blunt sacrificing the exit though. You can see how much more time this could be on here. He's got a chance. I think he sees it and Chicken knows it. Has he got the legs in that Ferrari? Has he got the straight line speed? Doesn't like he has. He's actually sacked off the overtake. But Chicken and Blunt has made a mistake going into the exit of Stowe. Chicken and Blunt, the Fanmaster wants to move around the outside. They're going to brake later. Chicken fairly leaving enough room there, but he sees the switch back into final. Has he got the legs for it? No, he hasn't. He will have to yield that position. What a nice move by Wayne. And he takes a penalty. He doesn't care. Oh, he saw the chance into turn one, but he thought better of it. I think that's the right thing to do, Chicken. You can watch this back and enjoy the commentary. I mean, to be fair, quite honestly, look at the moment, looks like Andy Boy probably has this race on his stream. He's so far in front, going to sit there reading a book, 5 seconds clear of the cars behind. Chicken needs to save some DRS though. I think he's got the faster car in a straight line, definitely than Wayne. Probably running a bit less wing on that Mercedes, but just see here, biggest losers. Let's have a look where the hell that thing is on my naughty little spectator menu of supremacy. Here it is. So ignoring Dave because he's pitted. Biggest gain so far is Basin up 6 now, probably because of the pit lane again. And Max Stubbs doing nice as well, up 6 from the back of the grid. That's some nice driving there. Danger David down 5th. He won't be happy with that one for the moment, but this race is yet young. There's plenty of time. There's absolutely plenty of time for these two boys to scrap away and gain some places back. Craig with another penalty. A lot of people getting penalties here. We're watching an Evo lobby here, boys. Come on. Chicken and Blunts. Famas Wayne is struggling to get rid of Chicken, to be fair, but Cavilmi gets another penalty. How many penalties have people got? Have a look. The biggest penalties right now award goes to Chicken, Cavilmi, Craig, Pennycad with 9 seconds of penalties down there in P20. That hasn't gone well at the moment. I don't know how many warnings people have got, I'll be honest, but there's a lot of penalties being chucked around left, right and centre here. Clearly the stewards are not happy with some of the track limits people have been using. They're clearly less peaceful about it than they were about Verstappen's ones. Don't want to start an argument about that though. Brashman's starting to lose the tip of Taylor Danny. He's loosened the grip of the tip on Taylor. Over 7/10 per second now behind. He looks like he has been saving battery though, and Taylor's been using all of it. And Ben knows that. Ben can see that a flashing light on the back of that car indicates I've got less than 10% on the board of the car. So Ben will know he's got more performance in this Mercedes than Taylor has at the moment. And to be fair as well, they're starting to catch up back onto the back of Andy. But Andy is sitting pretty. 33.0 from these. Have a look what these guys do. 33.0, 33.1. Don't know what Chaz did, but clearly close enough. So they're pretty level now. So I think Ben will still be happy. Somebody's made a mistake. Sector 3. I've got no idea who it is though. Someone please tell me who's made a mistake. I'd love to know. No idea who's done this. Jay says it takes skill to be in an Evo lobby or survive one. Yeah, probably more than I can dare let on. Take a bit more bites of my dinner. Cavilmi with another penalty there. He's going to be going for what? Mitch finally goes in the pit lane for his first stop. As Andy Boy is starting to put his toe down again, actually. He is starting to use some overtake here, Andy is. He thinks he's coming in for his pit stop anytime soon. Yeah, it's been a very good lap, to be fair, given the age of these tyres on this car. So, Taylor, though, is also sniffing at a green lap for this guy. Anybody want to pit from the lead? Have a look here. Just looking at the track map in the bottom right corner of your screen, you can see behind Famas Wayne there's a bit of a train forming. Speaking of train, someone's just said choo-choo bye-bye. Here's a scrap here for Arkid and DSL Brad. I don't know who made the move here, but I expect it's going to be Brad moving back up in front of Arkid, because those soft tyres will absolutely be second hand now. I mean, really, he's struggling for pace. He's 34.8. He's really got no pace in those softs now. He needs to pit soon. Speaking of pitting, Jock decides to get rid of them soft tyres. I think it's a fair choice. See what tyres he goes on to. See, you get a bit of chance here in the pit lane to save yourself some ERS back up. Probably only about 15-20%, but it could make enough of a difference as he pits onto the hard tyres. I don't know, but he might be able to make it to the end from there. I think it looks like the medium runners might have a chance of going to the end, though. But from moving on to the hard, but it's possible. See what else we've got. So Andy, yeah, still getting his toe down now, fixing. Oh, someone's had an accident. I've got no idea who it is. It looks like it is. I've got a bleeding clue. I think it was Divi with a Spinala. Gets his foot down. He's got no overtake left, so it looks like Craig might see a whiff of a chance here. I don't actually know. 2 seconds off in the first sector, though. Oh, Divi's definitely had an accident. He's struggling. Already made himself a bit of a warning there. Jock stays out for another lap. Let's have a look back up to the leading bunch here. Andy, 5.6 seconds clear now of the cars in front. Brashman still hanging on as Chaz gets his first penalty of the race. There might be more than one coming his way. Looking to. He's starting to get more committed though, to be fair, as Arkid decides to call it there on those soft tyres and finally get rid of them. He needs to get back into DRS of the cars in front though. He's got to start using overtake and get back in the DRS, because he will be under threat if he loses them. I think he must have heard me here as he starts to drop some overtake and try and get back on the cars in front. Brashman's tyres probably start to come back to him now as the mediums begin to wear on. So I've got absolutely no clue what the tyre wear will be like for these guys. Chaz pretty committed, to be fair, under the circumstances going into Cops, but he's still losing time to the cars in front of him. But it doesn't look like DSL Brad in the Alfa Romeo is going to catch up to him anytime soon. There is a clear top 4 scrapper. Someone's dropped it. I think it's the Red Bull of Pennycad. And he survived. They survived that one and carried on scot-free. We're up to 12 viewers. Let's have a hey in the chat, guys. Everybody this evening. DSL Brad going to stone hours. Kevin gets yet another set of 3-second time penalties. Yeah, Chaz is really struggling now on these tyres. He's starting to lose 8/10 of a second a lap at the moment. He's got to get his toe down. I think Brashman's also starting to get... Yeah, this is on now for a scrap here. Brashman's got a lot more overtake on board. As there's been contact, there's contact between 2 drivers. It's a McLaren and a Aston Martin. Looks like it's probably Oscar Piastri and Lance Stroll there have made a mistake. Divi has reset his car back onto the track. Craig MC is just about recovering from the accident. Probably get some PTSD for that one. No idea who caused it, but it looks like he was the car behind. Actually, both of them actually got DRS, to be fair. He's got no idea who actually caused that accident. I'm sure that'll be reviewed to the stewards after the race. That's not my job, so I'm pretty happy with that. We're now, I think, somewhere near a third race distance now on the 100% PGR Silverstone Grand Prix, brought to you by Champion Stiggy. I'm going to get that in as many times as I can, just to annoy Che. So let's have a quick look through what's going on here. Andy Boy still 5.5 seconds clear of Taylor. Brashman still hanging on for dear life onto the back of the Haas in P2. Brashman doing a good job though. A lot more overtake than Taylor Danny's got, and he's still on the harder tyres. So Brashman's still got his fastest stint yet to come. Speaking of coming, looks like Chaz Knight Rider in P4 starting to lose the cars in front though. But he's still holding his own, 8 seconds clear of the Alfa Romeo behind him. The cars have begun to peter out from each other. Brashman and Taylor Danny are the closest battle on track so far, and these two have been glued to each other like me and a prick stick when I was about 7. The blue ones were the best. Brashman in the slipstream of Taylor Danny in front, and he can see the lack of overtake. Taylor Danny's having to push hard as he can to keep in front of Brashman. He gets a penalty. That was obvious. That was going to happen at some point, but he can relax a bit now. He's probably get a couple more tokens to get on the move. He's had enough. He sees a chance actually overtake on DRS wide open. 180 miles an hour, 190 miles an hour, over 200 miles an hour now. I'm looking to Stowe. Where's he going to go? Going around the outside to Stowe. Will he make it move? It's a bit of a lock-up from both drivers, but it around side by side, going to Stowe, and they're leaving it to the just enough space. And looks like Brashman's made the move stick. Yes, he has. Nice move by the Mercedes there. He gets back in front into P2 where he started. That's what we like to see. Well done, Ben. Good job. I think Taylor Danny will be hoping to get that position back at some point, but I think that might be... he needs a bit of luck, I think. Hopefully an undercut will make that move work later on, as Brashman I think will probably start to hunt down Andy Boy in front of him now. Unless Taylor Danny's got anything to say about it. Back up to 14% overtake, but now he's got DRS, and I think he sees that he might have a faster car on a straight line. Don't actually know, maybe a little bit more wing, but those medium compound are still helping him out in the traction zones. Call me Arkin with a 32.0, fastest lap of the race there by the Aston Martin in P14 on I think on a fresh set of boots, fresh set of medium tyres. He's two-stopping this race. I think the leaders though might try and one-stop it. Let's have a look-see here. Looks like Andy Boy's probably on the verge of lapping his teammate down in P20. Only about 5 seconds between them as somebody stacked it. Who is it? It's Max Stubbs. Max has made a mistake. He was having such a good start to the race, and he's had a little spin going on to the Wellington straight now. But he'll recover from that. There's still time, mate. Don't worry. Have a look. Taylor Danny. What's he going to do? When's he going to pit? I don't know how long these tyres are supposed to go, honestly. These two are still the closest. Looks like Craig is pit from P19. Ben is starting to make a move into the back of Andy in front though. He's starting to clear Taylor Danny behind as well. Ben is going to be... Those hards are starting to come good. This bodes well for Taylor Danny though, because he knows that he can sit. Another yellow is behind him who's made an error. I think it might be Chaz. Is it Chaz who's made a mistake? Have a look here. It might have been a little error from Chaz, don't know, but he'll carry on scot-free with a brown bum. Taylor Danny still half a second behind Brashman in P2. As Max Stubb pits, he's had enough of them tyres. Wants to get rid of those as fast as possible. Brashman now knocking on his sub 5 seconds. He's starting to gain onto the back of Andy. What's Andy doing? See, Andy's still got a lot of overtake left, but those tyres are beginning to struggle now. 107.8 compared to, let's have a look at Brashman's middle sector time, 107.4, so nearly half a second faster than Andy Boy across the first 2/3 of the lap. Andy Boy stays out for the lap. He's going to start seeing cars start lapping though. Taylor Danny also stays out. Looks like the mediums will go for a little bit longer. Anybody in chat want to have a conversation? I'm more than welcome. Have a conversation with you all. Taylor goes P3. Pennycat gets some more warnings for corner cutting. That's Brad Pitt. Brad has pitted. He's had enough of them mediums. Have a look at the pit stop here. Hopefully a big good stop from the Alfa Romeo boys. Craig 12 gets a 3-second penalty. I'm going to have some more bite of my dinner. I'll tell you what, these are delicious. Nice stop there from Brad and the Alfa Romeo boys. He's going to come out. I think probably P13 here, at risk from Dave though. Now Dave's been on these tyres I think for a little while. Let's see what he does. He's going to catch up to me in the first lap as Brad's tyres will be very cold. More cold than my Tinder likes. Self-burn, those are rare. Have a look, Dave goes down the back straight. He might start catching up to the back of Brad. Brad really does need to stay in front of Dave though, for sure. Let's have a look, see what he does. Nobody in chat wants a chat. Haha. Yeah, I think Dave's tyres will be nearly up to temperature now, or still not. 78 degrees, so the tyres will come into the working window about 82. Won't take long, but he'll be happy to go on a fresh set of boots. There's probably a bit more commitment there in this car now than what there was a lap ago. Brashman 4.9 seconds behind Jock. What the hell's happened? Has somebody pitted? Yes. Famous Wayne in the pitch, Chicken and Blunt's also in the pit lane. Chestnut Rider stays out, so this will be a race of the pit stop. Few people coming actually, although all the medium runners have started to come into pit, which means Andy and Taylor Danny will not be far behind them. There's a yellow flag somewhere. It's a Williams, is it? Who the hell's dropped it? I've got no idea where they are on track. It's a Red Bull. They've got no front wing. I think they've actually called it a day here. Let's hope they're going to retire peacefully, I assume. Yeah, I think they are. Hopefully not going to bring out a safety car, because that'll be a bit annoying. Please retire your car normally. What are you doing, Penny? Please retire your car before we can let out a safety car. Anyway, 4.3 seconds is the gap now between Ben Brash and Taylor Danny. Danger David gets to the penalty, so does Mitch. There's so many penalties. Penny has called it a day. Safety car remains in the pits for the moment where it should be. Max Stubbs with a 31.8. He's got some decent pace behind that Alpine in now. Taylor Danny is now outside of DRS from Brashman. Brashman has begun to turn up the wick here as Andy Boy is probably start looking in his mirrors. There's a lot more pace now. Brashman actually sets his best lap of the race so far, 32.5 I think I saw there. He's beginning to put the work in Andy Boy. Let's have a look, 66 through the apex here. Let's have a look what Ben does. Carrying 70s, definitely faster in the first couple of corners then. He's starting to get his toe down. I think Ben knows he's probably being watched and now wants to start making himself look good. Somebody else pits is Karzinko. He's in the pits. Danger David does the same as well. Could do with saving up some ERS, those boys who are also in the pit lane. As Kavilny takes P6 off these guys, but he's 24 seconds behind Clyde in P5. There's a lot of Clyde actually using the brake and the throttle at the same time, which isn't probably which is an interesting strategy, considering you're running traction control. But you know, each to their own. Chaz now 4-5 seconds off the leading bunch now though. Just see what he does. I think I doubt he'll probably come back from that unless there's an accident or he all of a sudden gets a lot more grip than he thinks he's got. Danny though I think is probably going to be pitting now. Surely he's going to be coming in the pit lane. Danny has. These tyres are definitely second. Okay, Andy Boy's pit. What's Danny going to do? Andy gets a penalty. That's insane. Andy gets a penalty from the lead of the race. Speeding in the pit lane there. He's a stupid boy for that one. That's going to impact him at the end of the race for sure as Brashman takes the lead. He would have seen that. I think he would have seen that pop on his dashboard. Craig retires position. I think that's actually in the pit lane. He is in the pit lane, which is the right way you should be doing it really. So what's happened with Andy? He won't serve that penalty just yet. He'll have to serve it either when he next pits or at the end of the race. Taylor Danny as well, also on the hards. Chaz pits for hards 2. This is big now for Ben. Ben's has a solid whiff at P1 now. All he's got to do is keep it on the road. There's more yellow flags as someone's... Where's... Oh, it must be the guy retiring, to be fair, as someone has given up the ghost. Divi Borough gets another set of penalties. This is close now between the leading three. I don't know if Clyde actually has a sniff at P3 here. Will he go for it? Go on, Clyde, have a go. The tyres are cold in the car in front. You can do it, mate. What we're looking for, folks, is that 25-second gap. Obviously, bear in mind that Ben's tyres will be cold when he comes out of the pits. We are expecting Andy Boy to retain his lead here, because he did not serve the penalty in the pit lane. So this will be interesting to him. I wonder if Clyde has a sniff at P3. See what he does. Danny could not have afforded to be any slower. Keep the eyes peeled actually for the Arkid battle behind between Chaz. I might have to cut to that one. I'm going to cut to that one here, because this will be close. Chaz has got to keep in front of him here. How much overtake has he got? He's got a full battery. Dump it, Chaz. Dump it, lad. Both drivers dumping the battery now, but Chaz has probably got a lot more in the tank than Arkid knows. Arkid doesn't care about that. He's going to round the outside into snow. He's going to do it. There's just enough room for the two of them, and Chaz defends brilliantly there. Nice bit of defending from the Ferrari's base and gets a penalty. Chaz will be happy with that one. As Clyde is now losing out to Taylor in front. His tyres have warmed up. The gap now stands at 25.6 seconds between Brashman and Andy. This is where it will be crunch time for these two boys. It's clearly the Mercedes is still doing well on its tyres. Any more battles going on behind? Arkid still actually hasn't had enough of Chaz yet. I expect Chaz's tyres will start to come back to him. Let's have a look. Will he got the inside? Arkid is going to leave barely any room for Chaz. He goes down the inside. There's a banging of wheels from the two boys, but Chaz has to yield to Arkid with the Aston Martin in front of him. Nice move there from Arkid. Chicken and Buns gets another penalty. And we're not even at half race distance yet. These guys are probably used to doing only 50% race distance, so they'll probably start to struggle with a bit of fatigue from here on out. You'll probably see some more mistakes coming in terms of corner cutting warnings and penalties and possibly an accident. And that gap is still 25.6 seconds to the cars in front, and to be fair, I expect that oh no, Max Stubbs left the session, and his car's still going though. So, looks like, to be fair actually, Cavilny is starting to struggle on these tyres, and Arkid and Chaz are going to be having a nice little battle for P5 here. See what Chaz does. The battle behind Danger David and Karzinko. I don't know where they went side by side. Looks like they went side by side to Stowe. Any other chance? Yes, there is. Going around the outside. He's going to go on the inside. Where's he going to go? He's going to dive up the inside. Ooh. Danger David with a nice amount of braking there. Keeps his car in front of him going into the final couple of corners. That's what we'd like to see from those two boys. Jock, P12. Famas Wayne, P11. He's just kept himself quiet, but he's still got a heavy chance for points here. Chicken and Blunt's the same, P10. Dave is out of sync with the cars around him. After all, he pitted quite early on those soft tyres, so we think he'll have to pit again. I'll be amazed if he makes it to the end on that set. Quite honestly, you've made it half, mate. How's your throat? Not as bad as yours last night, is my answer to that question. I've been enjoying my mixture. Gets a penalty speeding in the pit lane. I've been enjoying my dinner in the meantime. I also actually want to point out thank you to PGR for letting me commentate this race. I got the message off them quite late on this evening. It's been a pleasure commentating this race so far. The second race, I'm actually commentating for these boys, and hopefully I'm keeping everybody proud. Yellow flag, sector 1. Let's cut back to the carnage. Can't have your dad till he was busy. Thanks, mate. Yeah, with your mum. Right, cutting back to the Grand Prix. There's still yellow flags in sector 1. Not really sure what's happened. Is it danger? It's Cavilney. Oh, Cavilney's in the pit, so it can't be him. Nothing really going on now. A bit of a break time. Danger David actually looks like he's got the best chance of making a move at the moment. There's still a yellow flag in sector 1. Who is it? Who is the retiree yellow flag man? Is it Cavilney? He's come just out the pit lane. That explains a lot. Bama Swain gets a penalty now. Actually, going to give myself some shout outs here to the guys who have not got a penalty yet. Half distance, Special Clyde, Call Me Arkid, DSL Brad, Dave. That's actually only 4 drivers who have not yet got a set of penalties. So fair play to those boys making it half distance without one so far. You get a pat on the back. Well done. We'll come back to that at the end. Speaking of backs, Chaz Knightrider starting to look at the back of the Aston Martin of Call Me Arkid again. He's starting to catch up to him. He's probably found some bollocks here. He also start using up his battery. He's got 100% in the tank. Start using it, Chaz. I hope you can hear me. Actually might message him, see what he does on PlayStation. Drop him a line. Drop him a quick line real quick. My boy Chaz Knightrider, obviously he's the guy that, you know, has always been about with these guys. Where is he? Come on, Chaz, make yourself useful. Drop him a message real quick. There's a message. See if he receives. Carrying back on with the race. See what he does over the next few laps here. Don't want to clip. What the hell's YouTube doing? Being stupid. Carrying on. Danger David gets a penalty. And Chaz Knightrider's now outside of that 1 second window. He's starting to use some overtake. Is he going to start using it 10%? Let's go, Chaz. My man. Just to keep Car Kid honest. And Andy Boy now only 24 seconds off the back of Crashman. So he will remain in the lead coming out of the pits at this speed. Which is what matters for Andy Boy at the moment. Because I'm not sure actually how many penalties they've got. Let's have a quick look here. Where's the penalties? So 3 seconds and 5 seconds. So there's currently a 2 second penalty difference between the two guys. The yellow flag, someone's dropped it. Who is it? I'm pressing the wrong button. It's Jock. Jock and Danger David have both had an accident. Who's got any front wing left? I've got no idea. Please tell me. Cavilney, 23 seconds of penalties as Danger David comes in the pit lane now. Jock carries on. Danger David actually retired from the session. He's called it a day. He's had enough. Can't wait for the comment section on Discord for that one. Andy Boy now less than 23 seconds behind Brashman. Still yet to pit. Speaking of pit, he's coming in the pit lane now. Let's see how he does here. Brashman in the pits. He spent 29 laps on these hard tyres. He will be going to the end and the race will well and truly be on between him and Andy Boy. Taylor Danny as well might still have a whiff at this depending on how much the two boys in front fight. Andy Boy should take the lead of this. He absolutely will. Andy Boy comes flying through turn 1. Retakes the lead, but by how much is the question? Who else? Taylor Danny might still have a sniff at the back of Brashman, to be fair. Let's have a look here. So the gap is 5 seconds, so to be fair to Brashman, let's wait till the tyres have warmed up, actually, before I make any comments on Brashman's decent job, because I don't want to, over-ego the poor kid. But he's already starting to lose out, but Brashman kept it honest. Cavilney and Jock starting to have a scrap. I think Cavilney's got a pit stop worth of penalties though. Purple final sector for the AlphaTauri. Judging by his penalties though, he probably straight lined a few corners in the process, but he will have a look here. He's going to have a look anywhere. He will have DRS on the McLaren. Where's he going to go? He's going to bide his time. Hasn't had the best exit though, but neither's Jock. Jock is all over the grass. This is an obvious move. Go on. Cavillini's going to go around the outside of the Wellington straight. Jock's got no answer to this guy, or has he? Will he make a move? No. Oh! Nearly swipes the back of the AlphaTauri there. But Jock keeps his pride in check, but not his position. And moves down to P13. Not like it's a problem though, as Cavillini's 23 seconds worth of them. The penalties on for AlphaTauri. This explains a lot when he's weaving. That's 3 warnings in 2 corners. That's impressive going there. Brashman has kept the gap at 4.5 seconds. Great driving from Brashman on that long hard stint, to be fair. He still has a chance at winning this race on track, which I think is how he want to do it. Famas Wayne having a whiff at the back of Chicken and Blunts. Is there any space for him? No, there isn't. Chicken and Blunts does go a bit deep though and gets a silly line through the final couple of corners. Famas Wayne, does he see a chance into final? No, he doesn't, not there. But to fair to Chicken and Blunts, he leaves a space. Will he go side by side to turn 1? No, but he will get the run on him. Into turn 3 and down Wellington. Basin gets some more penalties, and Diviel Burrow. Bloody hell, a lot of penalties here for these boys. So DRS are wide open. Famas Wayne now, he probably won't see the move here, but Chicken and Blunts needs to push hard and use these medium tyres and get out of the back of that car behind him. I've raced both of these boys, are both very good drivers, very clean. So I'm not really rooting for either of them here. To be fair, both have been my teammates in special events, the World Cup for both of them. You're not helping me out here, Wayne, with that sort of corner cutting though. Special Clyde actually sees a move on Arkid now. Special Clyde comes in the pits for his one, and is it his only stop for the race? Have a look here. He has not stopped. So Clyde with his one and only stop of the race. Where's he going to come out? Chaz Knight Rider now 1.7 seconds behind Call Me Arkid in front though, but over 10 seconds away from the lead pack. Brashman is finally starting to make inroads into the back of that Williams in front of him. Gap 3.8 seconds now. Brashman can again green purple sector 1 for the Brit in the Mercedes. Let's see how he behaves here. 3.6, the gap dropping pretty rapidly now as Special Clyde looks like he'll come out the pits basically at the back of the pack. What tyres is he going to be on though? Mediums. So he's got 20 laps to make it work here. I think Jock's had a spin. He has. Jock's had a spin at turn 1. Ran a bit wide. Sorry Jock, I've got that one on film, mate. I'm going to earn myself 250 quid for that one. 3 seconds down the gap. Someone else has made this. Jock again. Jock, give it a minute, bro. Give it a sec. About to be a race with these two boys. No. I think Jock's called it a day there. They'll be fine, I'm sure. Brashman with a 1:30.4. Hats off or hats on, whichever what you're wearing now. Do the opposite as he takes the fastest lap of the race by storm. The gap now only 2.7 seconds to Andy Boy in front. And Brashman driving the wheels off this thing if it didn't have traction control, but it does. So he's got plenty of grip left. Speeding in the pit lane for Dave now. Diviel Burrow retires from the session though in the pits, which is fine. See where Andy Boy's behaving. Andy though has been saving up overtake. I think he knows Brashman's coming just when. 70% in the battery of this Williams car. Brashman with only 20%. Taylor Danny with 50. Taylor Danny still has a chance here. If these two guys in front of him race enough and there's contact, Taylor Danny's consistency might pay dividends here and just get him the win he needs. But I don't think he has the pace at the moment though to make it on merit. Jock retired session in the pit lane as well. We're starting to get a few cars giving up the ghost here. I think everybody's actually retired in the pit lane basically. The attrition is huge on 100% race. You see, these guys, as I said, only used to doing half distance, so probably not. You know, it's a lot more difficult 100% race. It's going to be twice as consistent in the cars around you than what you're used to, anyway. Brashman now only 2 seconds behind Andy. I think the race is on. I do want to stick with these guys now, I think, unless there's a battle behind. I'm just checking the leaderboard. Famous Wayne only 2/10 actually behind. I might move over. Yeah, I am moving over. Famous Wayne sees a chance down the inside to Stowe. Will he go for it? Yes, he will. They're side by side, the Ass and the Ferrari going into the final corner. Famous Wayne has to yield. That's going to carry on the whole race, hopefully. Nice bit of racing between Basin and Famous Wayne, though. See how these two fare up with each other. I can hear Karzinko's Alpine behind them, though. So there could be a chance. So that Famous Wayne must have made a mistake, actually. That's why he's so far down. He was only 5 seconds behind Chicken and Blood, so unsure what happened with them. Famous Wayne is probably going to try and look back and get his P8 back off the car in front as Kazinko, only 6/10 now behind these two. Let's go on board with him to watch this scrap. Famous Wayne, DRS wide open down the Wellington Straight. He's going to go side by side going into Brooklands. He's going to go for it. Has he done it? He has. He's got the car length in front, but Basin might have a switchback going outside Lovefield. This is great racing between these two boys. Somebody spun it. I think it's Arkid in the Aston Martin. So that gives Chaz Knight Rider his P4 back. He'll be happy with that one. As Famous Wayne takes the P8 off Basin in the Haas. This is some great racing between these two boys in front of the Alpine. Let's see if Karzinko wants to whiff here at the lead. Oh, sorry, in the lead of these little pack in front of him. No driver's got any overtake left now. Basin wants to stiff up the inside, so going to go for it. He will. He's going to send one up the inside of Stowe. Famas round the outside. He tries to stay in the position. He leaves just enough room for each other. This is great racing between these two boys. A lot of respect, I think, there's about to be given. This side, still side by side to the final couple of corners, and still going. No one's giving Lynch as Kazinko's got a great view of all this in front of him. Famous Wayne goes off the track to get the position, though. He might have to yield and give that one back. Kazinko around the outside of turn 1. Has he done it? Yes, he has. They're side by side going into turn 1 now. Basin goes down the inside. Oh, it's going to be contact from the two Alpine and the Haas. Oh, there is for wing. Let's have a look here. Famous Wayne has managed to get 7/10 in front of the car, so he's going to try and clear off now to keep that P7 in check. Brashman in front, 1.5 seconds behind, 7.5 in front of Tony Danny, 1.5 behind Andy Boy. Is he struggling for tyres now? Has he pushed these tyres too hot? I think he has. Looking at the onboard, I can see the amount of temperatures on the front of Brashman's tyres. They're 100 degrees now compared to the Williams on, I think, what's that, 90. Brashman's pushing too hard on those tyres. He's starting to get them to wear out and overheat. And that's not going to help him at all in this race, because he will begin to slow down and there'll be a lot more wear. There's still a great little scrap now. 4 cars separated by 1.5 seconds. You've got the Ferrari, the Haas, the Alpine, and then the Alfa Romeo of Special Clyde, who actually sees a chance here at P7. He's got the most overtake and he's got the freshest set of boots on this Alfa Romeo. Famous Wayne now 7/10 clear from the cars in front. Jock, I appreciate the kind words, mate. Yep, the game will be gone now. F1 23 will be a week and a half late, don't you worry. Special Clyde absolutely got a chance here of taking all 3 of these positions off these guys, depending on what happens. He's got to keep his nose clean, though. I mean, is this one of the only 2 drivers to not have a penalty? Alfa Romeo, neither of the drivers have a penalty on track at the moment. This has been very good driving, very consistent from both these boys. I think Clyde sees a chance at P9 here on Kazinko, especially with that sort of exit off Kazinko. Overtake very early, DRS wide open, both cars got DRS. Have a look here, Kazinko's going to move to the inside. Will he try and hold the position though? Side by side into Brooklands. They're going to leave just enough space. Kazinko has yielded. Special Clyde now, only a second off Basin in front of him. He's got to make this work, got to get on the back of him, as Basin now over a second behind Famous Wayne as well. So, starting to spread out. The gap is Brashman 1.5 seconds as a fight for the lead spilling to brew between these two cut drivers in the front of this race. 15 laps to go now. as Special Clyde been driving very nicely. He's had a very long stint on those hard tyres and moved on to the mediums very late on in the race, and you can see how much more pace he's got than the cars in front of him. He's already on the overtake, he's already on the back end of Basin. Basin going to be starting looking his rear view here. He's got to focus on Clyde behind now, not on Famas in front. Just don't know what he's going to be doing here. Mistakes are going to be starting to creep in for all these drivers. There's one there as Basin goes very deep into final, and he's lost himself half a second. Clyde might have a sniff here going into Brooklands and Luffield. 31.7 from the Alfa Romeo. This is some very decent driving here. Very committed into turn one. Will he go for a dive bomb here? Let's see what he does. No, he thinks better of it, but he will get DRS going on to Wellington Straight. Much better line from Clyde. That brake balancing going in and out the corners is helping him, paying huge dividends actually for the Alfa Romeo driver. Foot down, ERS full on overtake, DRS wide open, side by side down the Wellington Straight. Basin's got absolutely no answer to the speed of that Italian Alfa Romeo car, will just run a bit deep. Basin might go back up his side. He's actually picked up a penalty as Basin now, but the driver's still side by side. Clyde is got just enough room as they're nearly contact. Kazinko might have a whiff at these guys again. No, looks unlikely. Yellow flags behind him. I think Max Stubbs has dropped it, but this is giving Famas. Oh, massive contact there for Basin. Basin's out. I'm out a safety car. It is, safety car has been called out. Huge accident. I've got no idea what happened to Basin. I think there was zone crash there. I didn't see any contact between him and Clyde at all. That is massively surprising. So Brashman and Andy Boy and Taylor Danny all gonna have to pit again. Chaz Knight Rider does take the chance to pit, so did DSL Brad. Is this soft to the end? It's mediums for Chaz Knight Rider. Let's see what DSL Brad has set up on him. Chaz actually gets held in the pit lane just for half a second or so, and DSL Brad comes in the pits for mediums too. A lot of drivers in, everybody's in. Pit frenzy. So I'm just going to see Special Clyde actually has not pitted because his tyres are relatively fresh, and he comes out P4. That's some fantastic timing from Clyde. He will stay out here. Andy takes chance to pit. What will Brashman do? Brashman also pits on those. Taylor Danny, I think, will probably do the same. They will retain P1, 2 and 3, but there's no chance that they'll lose the positions here to anybody else. So Taylor Danny may as well pit as well. He does so. Is that a bit late on the pits? Oh, very close. He comes in the pits there. Thank you, Jay. Appreciate the kind words in the chat, mate. Thank you so much. So Brashman comes out. Has he jumped? He has! Brashman's jumped Andy. Andy had wing damage. So Brashman now takes the... Oh, his 5-second penalty, of course it is. So that's actually paid dividends for Andy Boy quite well, actually. Because it means it'll be a fair fight to the end for the two boys. But, more importantly, Andy Boy no longer has a penalty. So, Andy can afford to finish P2 now, as long as he's 3 seconds behind the car in front. The problem is, there's a lapped Aston in the middle of them both. Lapped Alpine, sorry, I think in the middle of both of these drivers here, which cannot overtake the safety car. Taylor Danny P3, Clyde P4, Chaz Knight Rider and Call Me Arkid P5, P6, Brad P7, Dave into the pits and P8, he'll lose out. Wayne into P8 then. Kozinko slightly behind. Chicken and Blunt, Kevilny, then Max Stubbs over a lap behind. give myself some time just to rest my throat, actually. Whew. So 38 laps in now, only 13 cars remain. Max Stubbs obviously is a lap behind now, so he won't be any threat for anybody taking divisions, unfortunately, but everybody else will be starting to catch up. This is completely wide open. We've actually got cars on the softs here. Chicken and Blunt's on the softs, you've got Kavilny on the softs. Who else have we got? Nobody else on the soft tyres, so taking a risk here, but they might well actually pay off here. The cars obviously a lot lighter than what they were at the start of the race, and they know the pace of the softs, so about a second a lap quicker than the mediums. So probably give them a good chance at taking some positions. I mean, still though, Andy Boy and Clyde, I mean, Clyde obviously the only person to not get a penalty throughout the whole race, so very well done to Clyde, and he still has a great chance of getting a podium today if he keeps his nose clean. Where's Clyde come from on the grid? Let's have a look here. Plus 10. So Clyde started P14 on the grid, and it's up to P4, has a chance at a podium, so he's had a brilliant drive so far this race. Chaz Knight Rider only lost one, I think, only lost one position so far. He will not be upset with what he's doing so far. Arkid as well has got a chance here. Have a look at actually penalties for everybody. So people to watch out for obviously is Andy Boy now can, in theory, just sit right behind Brash for the whole race, but I expect to want to win it on track. That's what we want to see, don't we, guys? We want to see a massive fight for the win between these two. And we've got Taylani in P3 with a 3-second penalty as well. There's still a chance he can win this race. Spain goes for Clyde as well. Chaz with 3 seconds, arguably between the people that might struggle here is Brad, Wayne, Chicken, Kavilny with 21. What's safety car going to do? I think everybody now is with each other, so I'm not expecting the safety car to stay out another lap, but we'll find out what it does. Safety car is going to come at the end of this lap, so we will have about a 12-lap sprint to the end. Appreciate, you know, had a few people commentating on comment while watching this race and having my comms, so thank you all for your kind words in the chat. Lap 40 of 52, it'll be 41 as they cross the line. Brashman leading this race. He's led a few races and champions before, so he knows what he's doing. He's not one to buckle under pressure, really. The problem will be Max Stubbs. What's he going to do? He's a big threat here, because will he overtake, go and try and lap himself, or will he just have to fall back? Brashman's gone. Brashman's P2C because he knows because of the Max Stubbs behind him, he has a chance to leave. Andy Boy's been caught napping. Nothing here. He's actually, so Max Stubbs has been ghosted though, so that won't mean he'll get in the way of this race. Any battle going on behind? Chaz Knight Rider and Call Me Arkid might have a little scrap with Clyde in front of him. Come on, Clyde, you can do it, mate. I want to see some Clyde action today. It's a fantastic name, and he's come from very low down the grid up to P4, so I want to see him do quite well now. Arkid though also wants a bit of a sniff at the back with Chaz Knight Rider. Any more battles going on? Doesn't like it at the moment. Brashman's managed to get a 1.5 second gap already onto the back of Andy. He is going for it. Andy's having to push really hard though. Actually, as Brashman's about to be unlapped, I think, by Max Stubbs, annoyingly. Probably going to make his life very easy here. But at least he's ghosted 1.2 seconds now. But Brashman makes another warning. That's absolutely a warning between him. Why are you struggling so much here, Ben? I know you're better than this, mate. Go on, head down. 1.3 seconds separates the top two. Danny having a whiff as well for this race, only 9 tenths behind Clyde as well, only a second. But you got Chaz Knight Rider and Clyde going side by side to Stowe. Chaz a lot quicker on the straight though. He makes an interesting little, makes Stowe look very easy there. He's up into P4. Arkid and Famas Wayne. Oh yeah, Famas Wayne up into P7. He overtakes Brad. He'll have a sniff at Arkid. Max does the fastest lap of the race at 1:30.1. He's absolutely, is he leading the race? No, he's still not leading the race at the moment. I don't really know what he's doing though. Let them go, mate. Any more battles going on around the race? Famas Wayne, I think, might have a little whiff at the back of Arkid somewhere on this lap. DSL, Brad and Carkinzo side by side down the Wellington straight. They'll leave each other barely any room as Carkinzo's going to brake later. Carkinzo actually earlier on the brakes gets a switch back going into Luffield. Will he make it work around the outside? No, he won't. But DSL Brad goes deep, buddy. Oh, lovely line there from Brad. He's done that one before. Fantastic racing there from the Alfa Romeo and the Alpine. And we've got Special Clyde half a second in front of Arkid now on track. He might be able to make this, he might be able to retain his P5. It'll be glorious if that's the case. Have a look, see here, 6/10 down the gap. Clyde might be able to make this, but he's over a second behind Chaz now. Any more flies behind Famas Wayne, starting to sniff at the back of the Aramco Aston Martin. He's going into the final couple of corners. He's enjoying the smell of that. He's so close to the back of it. Andy Boy, fastest man on track. He's underneath a second now. This is the race we all want to hear to see, though. Brashman versus Andy. Let's see what happens. He's absolutely in DRS as you've got Max Stubbs probably annoying Ben more than you think. Also on screen at the moment, there's nothing more annoying than a ghost car in you. I can assure you that much. There's DRS now for Andy Boy, but he's got no overtake left. Brashman has got 60% overtake on board. Andy's got none. So might be more die than we think. Any more fights going on? Arkid might have a look at the outside of Clyde here. Doesn't look like there's any chances for him. Not there. Chaz, I've just seen Famas Wayne become very big in the back of Arkid's rear view mirror as he's using an overtake as well. There's a chance Famas Wayne, I think, probably running a little bit less front wing than Arkid, but he's got still got a very decent nose on the front of that Ferrari. They're going to be 1.5, 2 tenths in it going down the hanger straight here. That might be on the verge of a corner cut there from Famas Wayne as he hits the Chapel corner, foot down, 130 mile an hour, exit the DRS wide open, using all the overtake possible. Will he see a move? No, he doesn't, but you know who will? Arkid round the outside of Stowe. Will Clyde go for it? No, he just lets that one slide. Special Clyde, I think, is just happy to be here at the moment. He sees the penalties around him. Famas Wayne now looking at the back of Arkid as well. Will he go for it here? I think he might. Someone actually retires. It's back to somebody's side. Oh, Famas Wayne gets his nose into the final corner. That was very close. I was not expecting that. There's got to be a dive bomb coming here shortly. Where's he going to go? Around the outside. There's a massive 4 people separated by half a second. There's no space left for anybody here. As Famas Wayne goes round the outside, come onto the Wellington straight. He's gone board with DSL Brad here as he's on the grass. Clyde letting his teammate through. No, he's not. Clyde wants him back. Carkinzo's made the moves to most of them. There was clearly an illegal overtake going on between those two boys. The Carkinzo dive bombs Clyde down to P10 now, and he's been spun. Clyde and Dave have had a little ding dong and they fell into each other. Clyde's race has gone from very good to mediocre. That's a real shame for Clyde there. You were doing so well, mate. DSL Brad though, taking one for the Alfa Romeo team. Wants to look at Carkinzo. Neither of them got the overtake left. Famas Wayne now over a second clear, so he'll be happy. But I've just noticed in front here, there's a 1 second gap between the top 3 drivers. DRS wide open for DSL Brad. He's going to go around the inside into Stowe here. Will he make it move? Yes, he will. Carkinzo has to yield from there. Will he get the switch back going into the final corner? He has not got the legs in that Alpine. I'm going to take a bit of water here. Keeping on board with Carkinzo, I don't think that's a chance of getting back to DSL Brad, but Brad will have a whiff at Famas. He absolutely will try his best to get on the back of that Ferrari. Let's have a look here. Chaz Knight Rider back to us, seeing the carnage and shoe in front of him here. Taylor Danny, Andy Boy and Ben Brash. Who is going to win this Grand Prix? There's 7 laps to go, and these 3 titans of the track separated by just over a second here. This is going to be a great little scrap between these 3. as Ben Brash retains the lead. Still, they're all using a lot more road. I think Taylor Danny just went straight on outside of Cops there. But they're all starting to take liberties now. I think Ben needs to try and force Andy to get a warning. 4-3. DRS wide open for Andy. How much overtake has he got? Doesn't look like he's got enough. He's not using overtake yet. Ben is having to defend. Ben's definitely looks a bit more committed coming out of Stowe. So he's keeping himself positive for those sort of lines. Taylor Danny doing the same thing as Ben is. Andy Boy's struggling to get the car hooked up through Stowe though. All separated by just over a second now. 130.4 for Taylor Danny. Chaz Knight Rider 131.1, so he's not got a chance here at the top three. This is going to be a grandstand finish here for the Power Grid Racing League. These guys have covered 46 laps already, only about 4 of them under safety car conditions. They've had a very good race. Andy Boy having led the race basically on the medium tyres at the start, scampered off about 5 seconds into the distance, came into the pits, put hards on, got a 5-second penalty. He's managed to get rid of that under safety car. So as it stands, we've got Ben Brash, 3-second penalty. There's a massive extension. He's got 6 seconds. What's he doing? Ben's made another mistake. It's 6 seconds down. He's on the verge of finishing 4th. His chances of a win have gone from slim to Slim Jim, which is unbelievable. Taylor Danny as well still sees a chance here. If Taylor Danny can force Andy to get a penalty, there's still a chance for Danny winning this race. This is some very good driving between these boys, to be fair. Even with all the penalties, they're still doing well. There's actually a battle behind Clyde and Dave. Come on, Clyde, get him back. Clyde saw the chance, can't get it there. Will he dive at the inside? No, he won't. Fortunately, Clyde is probably going to struggle to get anywhere he wants now. Sadly, he had a great race, Clyde had. But he's got 5 laps to go, doesn't like to get any points. He will still get points because of all the penalties in front of him. He's got to keep it clean. But there's still a chance here, Clyde. Keep your head in the game, buddy. Scrap behind, Brad has caught up onto the back of Famous Wayne now. We're going to go down the Wellington straight. DRS wide open and using all the overtake he's got available. Brad has to get in the gap of Wayne. Will he look for a move inside? Seems a bit risky from there. He thinks better of it. Going into Luffield now. He seems to be able to run that car slightly tighter than Wayne can, but Wayne is just getting better exits on that Ferrari. This is a really good little scrap from these two boys. However, I've got to cut back to the lead as Andy's now only 3/10 off the back of Ben. He sees a sniff at the win here. DRS wide open. Ben's having his overtake, going to go outboard here for the two drivers. Where's Andy going to go? Where's he going to go? Is he going to go for it here? Yes, he is. No, he isn't. He thinks better of it. But he's just pushing Ben around the circuit at the moment, trying to get an error from Ben, as Taylor is sitting pretty in P3. If these two have a crash, Taylor will scamper off into the victory here. These three have had a very good few last 14 laps of the race. Have a look, Famas Wayne made a mistake, looks like behind him, which gives Carkinzo a chance at a sniff at P7 again. Sadly, have a look here to turn 1. The cars, none of them really have a lot of overtake. Ben's still got enough to maintain his lead, at least on the track at the moment. Let's see what Andy does. Still no room at the inn there for Andy to get any more speed. I can actually hear the back of that Haas just creeping up behind the back of these two boys. Fortunately, Chicken and Blunt's now P12, 1 minute off the lead. He was leading a good race there as well. Good lines here from Taylor Danny, going in the middle sector now, on board with Maggots. Going through the Beckett's complex now, into Chapel. Very early on the power, using all the road there. DRS wide open onto the Hangar Straight. 180 mile an hour, 190 miles an hour now. Nearly touching just over 200 miles an hour into Stowe. Nice point on the brakes there, keeping it in 6th gear, using all the torque of the engine just for a little bit wide, I guess, with the penalty. So Taylor Danny now with 6 seconds of penalties. This is insane. This is going to give Andy the win. Andy's going to, I think, bring this home now. Only 4 laps to go, and Andy is still yet to get a penalty. Apart from his 5-second one, which he obviously did serve in the pit lane, which you are allowed to do. Chaz Knight Rider, I think, comfortably P4 at the moment, at least for the time being. Our kid, P5, does look like he's got the pace to catch up to Chaz just at the moment. Brad and Famas Wayne and Carkinzo separated by a second. This is a good little scrap for P6. You've got DSL Brad with 8 seconds of penalty, Famas Wayne with 9, Carkinzo with only 6, so there is actually a chance Carkinzo will still beat them on track, having less penalties. I think Kavilny is absolutely out. Chaz gets 6 seconds now. What is going on? Everybody's starting to make mistakes. They're pushing the tyres too hard. They're just struggling to keep themselves awake. Now it's a taxing track. This is, never mind, on 100% distance. It's not a hard, it's a very difficult track to keep momentum on and not make mistakes, because it just catch you at any time. The way the banking looks out, the way that the track's laid out, it's very easy to pick up penalties here. I know that firsthand, so I'm not surprised at getting penalties, but they're all happening in the late section of the race. The driver's taking too many liberties here, and it's currently playing right into Andy's hands. As he could just sit there, he can sit 6/10 behind Ben for the rest of the race and take home the victory. The person who does need to push hard is Danny. Danny needs to get past Andy and force up the back of Ben, go for an overtake. But there is a bit of a stalemate at the moment. Doesn't like any of the drivers have any more pace than the other at the moment. So I think this will just go down to penalties. Have a look here, anybody else? Yeah, Famas Wayne is still looking at the back of Brad. Famas Wayne is not giving this up. He's been committed to try and get on the back of this Alfa Romeo, but Brad has got 10% more ERS in the tank of that Alfa Romeo, as Wayne has got none left now. The advantage is that Wayne does have DRS, but it's not helping him at the moment. Going through the Maggots Beckett's Chapel complex once more, riding the sausage curbs, Brad does there. Have a look here. Early on the throttle again for Famas Wayne, DRS wide open, but again he just can't get the exit he needs. There isn't the pulling power in that Ferrari to get on the back of Brad. He's got no overtake left. Brad is defending though. For some reason Brad is defending clean air. Famas Wayne sees a chance around the outside. Does he? No, he doesn't. Clyde though up into P10 now. Oh, Carkinzo goes straight on there, clearly outbraking himself. Just trying his best to avoid the accident. We're on to our second to last lap now. Looks like Brashman still leading the race, 6/10, 7/10 to the back of Andy. Tail Andy 8/10 behind. 7-second gap to Chaz, and then our kid behind this. We're on board here with Famas Wayne with the scrap for P6 between Brad, Famas and Carkinzo. As Calvini has been disqualified penalties. But speaking of this though, for some reason Brad has had a massive skill issue. As he goes, they're going to go side by side into Brooklands and Luffield. They're going to leave just enough room. Famas Wayne having to cut the track though to keep it clean. Round the outside is the room for him. Round Luffield, no there isn't, and he still hasn't got the legs in that Ferrari to make a move. But what was Brad doing? Is he a chance again? No, he doesn't. Into Cops. No chance there for the two drivers, but he's sat on the rear wing of that Alfa Romeo. There's got to be a chance somewhere. He's forcing Brad to use more of his overtake. This has been a good little scrap between these two boys. They've done each other very proud with this sort of racing here. DRS wide open once more in the penultimate hanger straight. See if Wayne's got a chance. He hasn't got any more ERS left on his car, but he still sees a chance. He's just using up way too much here. Will he get a better run into final corner? Let's have a look. He has a switchback of dreams to see a chance. No, he doesn't. Carkinzo's caught up over a second to the back of these guys. You can clearly see who's the fastest car out of these three. and it's the Alpine. Clyde enjoying the clean air. Chicken and Bunts with another penalty. He's going to actually get out of the way here. Last lap. He's going to let off all three of these cars go by. As DSL Brad and Famas Wayne are side by side into the final, into the first sector. There's contact! The DSL Brothers ran into each other as Carkinzo has ran round the outside of both of them. This is a fantastic little spread. They've hit each other and now Carkinzo has pieced the scene. He's off. Both drivers got a little bit too hungry there. There's no room at the inn. Famas Wayne's going to hit yet. He's going to run into the back of Brad. A little bit too risky there. See where Brad will go for a move. Yes, he will. I don't know what he was playing at. Brad, I think, with a silly move there. I don't know what caused that. But that'll be one for the comment section post-race. Anything here from Andy Boy? Doesn't look like it. DSL Brad, though, still wants to sniff at the back of Davin. No more battling at the front, I think, at the moment. Let's quickly cut to the leaders to celebrate this. Ben Brash will win the race on the track, but he will not win it on paper, because he takes home the win. But actually, it's Andy Boy. Fastest lap of the race though for Ben, but it's Andy Boy that takes the win with a great race. Taylor Danny P3. No more racing to be had behind. Chaz Knight Rider with a very nice P4. Very good job from Chaz. Arkid P5. Oh, there's a actually penalty in play there, so Arkid takes fourth. Carkinzo's going to cross the line. P6. He'll be happy with that one. Famas Wayne will drop to P8, I think, because of the penalty, but Brad has unserved his penalty. That's the race over. P10. I'm sure check the comment section here for that one. That's going to be quite funny to watch. That was some very good racing there. Let's celebrate the podium here. Andy Boy with a fantastic win in the Williams. He probably got a bit fortunate with the pit stop, having to serve his penalty under safety car, but still, credit where credit is due, he did not pick up the penalties that Brashman got, and it meant that he won the race. So fair play to Andy there. Brashman taking home P2. And then we've got Taylor Danny taking home P3, very well deserved as well from those boys. Arkid finishes in P4. Chaz Knight Rider will be still happy with P5. Carkinzo P6 up on P11. Dave P7. Just behind Special Clyde finishes P8 here. Just literally 0.04 of a second behind Dave after penalty. So great race from Clyde. Unfortunately with the contact and the in badly timed safety car, but you'll still be happy with that. Famas Wayne P9, DSL Brad P10, Chicken and Brunts bringing up the rear, a lap down in P11. Let's take a moment to appreciate the other drivers who raced today. Max Stubbs, Basin, Jock, Divvy, Danger David, Mitch, Craig, Penny and Cavallini, who got disqualified, but it was a very good race, everybody. What was the actual full race time? 82 minutes, 50 seconds, and I'm going to cut the stream here. I'd like to thank PGR for letting me stream this race and talking. I'm just looking at the comment section here. I'll read this actually before I sign off. What have we got here? Brad said Wayne's a dirty driver. We've got Taylor Danny congratulating Andy and Ben. Call me Arkid. Atting Chaz Knight Rider. What on earth were you doing? That was... Stop crying, says Chaz Knight Rider. I'm going to cut it there before the comments get any worse. I'll just check the chat actually on the stream, see if anything's been talked about on here. Let's have a quick look, see here. All messages. Doesn't look like it, no. But anyway, I'm going to sign off. Thank you to PGR for letting me commentate this race. It's such short notice as well. And I think this is me signing off for F1 22, I think now, until the new game 23. So, yeah, hopefully I will see you all soon.